Hi, welcome to In a Pickle Knitting and another episode of Some Bunny Loves You. Today is Saturday, April 4th, 2020. My name is Donna and I'm coming to you from Manassas, Virginia. I'll be sharing with you a bunny-related craft and a bunny-related children's literature book. Let's get started. My craft today is a sewn felt craft. It is one that I have made into an ornament for my Easter tree, but the designer also shows how to make it into a necklace for a young child. And what this is this little sleeping bunny inside a carrot, and on its tummy is a little heart, and it slides back into its sleeping bag. If I can, here. Slides back into its sleeping bag. So I have hung, I put on here I forget what you call this, really narrow grosgrain ribbon, but I forget the size of it. And I chose this color green because it did come close to matching the grosgrain ribbon that I had. I initially had cut out this color green, which I thought went better with the corally kind of orange felt that I had. This is felt. But then I didn't have a ribbon to match it, and I'm making do with what I have. So I think this green is delightful too. And this pattern is by Bitty Bunnies. It is, the company is called Molly and Mama. And it was made in 2015 by Lauren Wright. I purchased the pattern on Etsy and downloaded this quite a few pages of instructions, and I think probably I did not need to print them all. There were several pages that weren't necessary for absolutely creating this. Took a very small amount of felt, and I used scraps that I had left over from my 12 Days of Christmas ornaments that I did not last year but the year before, and I have a video vlog series called 12 Days of Christmas that shows each of those ornaments. So there was a lot of leftover felt from that, and I just used some of that leftover felt with something that came in handy with that kit. Also, I had purchased a tool that helps you put stuffing up inside, because you can see the bunny is stuffed, but it's very tiny. So having that little tool in there that I used with those ornaments helped a great deal with this. So as I said, they show it also as a necklace. I'll show you their picture if you can see that very well. That's probably a little bit better. And I think one of the pages shows it as a necklace where they attached the ribbon on the outsides of the carrot. I attached mine in the center back because I wanted it to come straight up. So that is the craft for today. Something else I'll mention that helps me a lot when I'm using embroidery floss, even regular sewing thread when you're sewing, is this product called Thread Magic. When you take the cap off, there is I don't know if it's paraffin, it seems, or it's not really wax. It feels a little greasier than that, but you run your thread or floss through it and it doesn't tangle up as much. It doesn't get all those spirally corkscrew things. So I've used this a lot, and I'm sure I could use this for many more years, but I find it very, very handy. Thread Magic, and particularly with these felt ornaments. You won't be able to see, but blanket stitch most of the time, but also some back stitching to create this cute little bunny ornament or a necklace. So I thought I might hang it at the top of an Easter basket that I have for decoration, but it kept turning sideways. I wanted it to go forward. I think there's a way I could tie a different knot and probably get it to go the other way. But I liked it on my Easter tree too. So that is today's craft. Now for today's book, I have a really interesting book for you. It's called The Rabbit Problem by Emily Gravett. This book is very multidimensional. I think even though it is a picture book and there are some little bit older children who are sometimes turned off to a picture book thinking they're too big for it, I think though there are some fourth and fifth graders, third graders who, if they are math geeks or math nerds, might actually enjoy the puzzle of this book. It's based on Fibonacci. You might be familiar with the Fibonacci sequence of numbers. And the problem is stated right at the beginning of the book. So it starts off here with the rabbit problem. If a pair of baby rabbits are put into a field, how many pairs will there be at the end of each month and at the end of a year? And the premise is no bunnies can leave the field. So this is a pair of newborn bunnies, and how many will there be? So the story goes on to tell you that. And it starts off with this is just the normal kind of title page information, although there's extra information there, but it's got things that the Verso would have, the ISBN and where the book was manufactured, etc. But you'll notice here is a hole, because through there, the book then becomes a calendar. And this is Bunny who's going to join Lonely Bunny. January, the lonely rabbit problem. And there's a little invitation to join me. So it's got an invitation on this calendar for January, and it's just an imaginary January. February, the cold rabbit problem, and we have here knit with Fibonacci wools. And you've got a little pattern there. It's just amazing how many little details there are here. I think you'd have to pore over this book 5, 6, 7 times to get all of the details added up in here. But the fact that they've got a knitted sweater there that the rabbits are knitting, of course, appealed to me. March is the baby rabbit problem, Bunny's first month, and there is a baby book including an ultrasound picture. I mean, the details are just the baby names. For a boy, Alfalfa, Spot, Buck, or Bugsy. For a girl, Marge, Snowdrop, Buttercup, Fluffy, or Angora. Just amazing. April is the soggy rabbit problem because we've got lots and lots of rain. They've got Noah's Ark there and all kinds of little details such as DIY, build a shelter. And they've got family dinner on one night with a mud pie and book some swimming lessons for everyone. The cleverness just astounded me. So it goes on every month having something new to look at and read and just marvel at and probably go back through again and again. Oh my gosh, look at November, the overcrowded rabbit month. In December, says up here, no rabbits may leave the field, but they X'd through the no. Rabbits may leave the field. Come on, let's get out of here. And there's another little hole. And here's the surprise at the end when the book becomes a pop up, a pop out, a pop everywhere with bunnies leaving. If you know someone who enjoys cleverness and just spending some time with a book and going back, I think there are adults who would like this. And the back talks about the fact how Fibonacci, that he was an 13th century mathematician, but it is not, I repeat, not a book about math. It's a book about rabbits, lots of rabbits. So I think there are a lot of people out there who would really enjoy a book like this. I enjoy it just to turn each page and find something new every time I look through it. So I hope that that's a book or craft that you might enjoy. And let's see, do I have something else? Nothing more than just a reminder about the giveaway for the 12 mini skeins of yarn, and that's episode 4 you need to go back to make a comment. I peeked in there last night and was astounded there were so many comments. I think I looked at it the next day and there were just a few. I responded, and then there were so many comments. So I try always to respond to comments when I see them. If I don't go back to a podcast after, say, a couple of days, I usually don't go back after a couple of days after putting it out there. I just forget and move on. But I won't know there's a comment. So if I ever don't get back to you and it's because maybe you watched the episode a while after it had been put out there, that's why I don't get notified, and I just, I can't go back through all of them. But I did, of course, went back to number 4 just just to see how many maybe entries we had, and there were a whole lot more. So remember, all you have to do is pop in there, just say hello, just make a comment, anything you want. It doesn't, hi. a picture, anything, whatever you want. That gets you a space in the line so that I'll know how many, well, I'll put all the comments in, and then there's a program that YouTube comment generator will pick one designated person as the winner. So if you're interested in those mini skeins, be sure and go back to episode 4, because I can see the series here, Somebody Loves You, coming to an end. Not soon, but maybe, because one, I am running shorter on books that I have over here, and I really don't want to buy more bunny books right now. Just, you know, I think I have enough bunny books. I have a lot. There still are a few here, and I can't do the library now. Our public library was open for order and drop in, and they would bring them to the door for you, which was wonderful. But now I went to return some books, and, well, actually the day before I had tried to put some on hold, and it said you couldn't put them on hold because they didn't say you couldn't. They just got rid of that feature, that function. So now we can't place them on hold, and I couldn't even return the books because they actually had cones across the road. So I can't get any more from the library, and I don't think I'm going to order any more right now. I think our companies like Amazon are overtaxed with more important purchases maybe than books right now. So I don't want to buy any more bunny books. So, and some of my crafts, they're starting to dwindle. So I don't know how much longer, but when I do reach the end, that's when I will finally do the drawing for this, and I will announce who wins on the last one. So maybe I'll be able to, instead of putting a number, I'll say last episode, if you just want to check back to see if you won. So thanks so much for joining me this evening, and I hope I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.